Okay, hey everybody. I'm so excited to be sharing with you guys tonight for Tribe Tuesday. Thank you for everyone who's on live and everyone who's going to be watching the recording. I'm definitely really excited to be sharing. I'm going to be talking about fear tonight, which is really exciting and also kind of scary for me because I'm going to be really vulnerable with you guys. And I showed up tonight just like I normally am, how I normally work my business, just all natural, chilling, and I'm really excited. So as I'm talking tonight, I'm going to share my story with you guys first, and then I'm going to get into some training. So while I'm talking, if you guys have any questions about like my journey or any questions about what we go into tonight, feel free to put them in the chat. And hopefully by the end, we'll have a couple of minutes for questions too. So I'm really excited. I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys my story. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Allie Jones. I'm 22. I started Plexus a couple of years ago. I'm a gold ambassador, and I joined in May of 2015. So it's been a little over 2 years now, and I've loved the journey all the way through, but I've been through a lot of ups and downs, which you guys will kind of hear. And a lot of that has had to do with fear. So when I joined, I'm a red personality. And if you guys don't know what that means, definitely read the Color Personality book. It's amazing. And it helps me understand who I am as a leader to my team and who I am to the people around me. So definitely do that if you don't know what your color personality is. But being red just means that you're like a go-getter and you're a little bit of like a natural leader. Not that I have all the leadership qualities that I need to have. I'm definitely still working on that. But that's kind of where I fall. I'm like a red and a green. So when I joined, I really wasn't scared. I just wanted to like be successful for myself, and I wanted to help other people once I saw what the products were doing for me. And I really didn't feel like I had a reason to be scared. If you guys are a red personality, you might relate to that a little bit at least. Like I just wanted to do what I was there to do. I wanted to get healthy for me, and I wanted to help other people around me, and I really wasn't scared to do that. I didn't really have much fear in doing that. Or so I thought, like just on the surface, it was just, let me just go do what I'm here to do. So when I first joined, I went through the journey as far as I am right now relatively quickly. So I went silver in about a month and a half, and then I went gold 3 months later. So in the first couple of months of my journey, I had a team and I was responsible for being a leader to a bunch of people. I became really passionate about sharing with people. And when I got to that point, I really didn't know what I was doing. And a lot of us on our journey get to that point where we're kind of like, okay, like, so now what do I do? People are looking to me to have the answers, and people are looking to me to lead them. And I didn't really know how to do that. Even though I'm a red personality and I kind of have some natural leadership ability, I am also an introvert, and I also have never really led the way that this journey has required me to lead. I've been in leadership positions where I'm a leader just because of my title, like I've been a captain for different sports teams. I've led people and different things like that. But this kind of leadership is developing relationships with people and really truly being a leader. And I didn't know how to do that. So when I got to that point, and this is also part of my journey I'll share with you guys, I've learned over this journey, like for my entire life, I've really been a perfectionist. And when you're a perfectionist, you want to do things that you're really good at. So when I came to the point where I didn't know what to do, it was really scary for me because I'm used to doing things I'm good at. So when you start something new and it's fun and exciting, and then you get to the point where you're like, wait, like, what do I do now? It's really, really scary. So at that point in my journey, I really started doubting myself. And that happened for a couple of different reasons. I started doubting myself because I didn't know what to do, because I have a lot of mindset things that I'm working on with myself, and I'm going to get into sharing that with you guys and how you can improve that. And I also had a lot of people that were close to me start doubting me, and that was a huge impact on me for my business. And it wasn't necessarily because if people around you don't believe in you, you can't be successful. That's not true at all. I just wasn't in the place for myself and, in my mindset for me to succeed in that. When people started doubting me and they started seeing that I didn't necessarily know what I was doing, which is okay. Like, we're all learning as we go through our journeys. All of that collectively was kind of just like, whoa, like, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm really scared. And I'll tell you guys before I get into the training I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. Almost 2 years later, after I went gold, I'm in the same place in my business in terms of my rank. And I'll tell you guys also that I'm not in the same place in my business that I was in terms of leadership and in terms of personal development and all the things that I've learned, because I'm at this place in my business and in my journey because I really needed to learn a bunch of things before I get to the next place. And so I'm finally at a place where I feel like I'm ready to be a leader to my team. I'm ready because I have the mindset for me to push forward and push past the fear that we all have. But for me personally, there was a lot of things that I had to take care of for myself, and I still have to take care of with my mindset and all of that kind of stuff. So I'll tell you guys the number one reason, besides the fact that I just had to learn a bunch, that I'm at the same rank in the business that I was a couple of years ago when I got started. I had a quick start and then I just kind of got stagnant, is because of fear. And that's why I wanted to tell you guys this whole spiel on like me and my journey. And I just wanted to come on here and be like really raw and real with you guys clearly. I'm just like being me right now, being open with you guys. I have no makeup on. My hair is kind of crazy, but this is just me in real life. Okay. So the things I want to share with you guys tonight, if you guys are taking notes, there's going to be 3 different areas I wanted to focus on. And those are the fear of failure, the fear of success, and then fear and you, basically how you can get through that and how your fear really plays a huge impact in your whole business. So like I said, if you guys have questions while I'm going through this stuff, like I have the chat open, so you can put stuff in the chat, and hopefully we will get some time at the end if anyone has questions they want to ask and actually speak up. But the first thing I wanted to focus on is fear of failure. So obviously this is like a more evident fear that you can kind of sense, and it's easier for us to recognize. If you're scared of not being successful, you're scared that you're going to fail. It's the thoughts that say, what if I can't do this? What if people around me don't want to do this with me? Why don't you guys, while I'm talking about this, put in the chat something that like is easy for you to identify, like something that's an easy fear, what you're scared you might not be able to do. So it might be that you're scared you can't be a leader. You're scared that you can't be bold and be vulnerable with people. You're scared that you can't be healthy on your health journey. And even if you have had one of those fears and overcome them, that's definitely something that people can relate to on our team. So if you guys have any of those that you can add into the chat, I'm sure everyone would really appreciate. And I want to see and like just engage with you guys. But the truth about the fear of failure is that you kind of have to recognize that no one really knows what they're doing in the beginning of this, and no one is going to be perfect at it. And also, like, the huge truth of this is that failing is part of succeeding. So you have to fail a whole bunch of times before you're going to be successful. I see you guys putting your fears in there. The fear of letting others down, of backtracking. I have those same fears from time to time. Fear of being a product of the product and doing everything right. I think we can all relate to this stuff, guys. You guys are awesome for participating. Being a leader is scary. Yes, it is. If you're going live on Facebook, girl, I feel you, because my first live was super embarrassing and I sounded like a fool, but I did it anyways. But the big thing about the fear of failure is you have to fail a bunch of times before you're successful. That's actually what succeeding is. It's just doing things when you're scared and you don't really know what you're doing, and just you keep doing it and then you're successful. That's how people get good at what they do. So thanks for sharing that stuff, guys. I know I didn't read all of them, but good for you guys for being vulnerable and sharing your fears, because that's a scary thing to do. So the next thing I wanted to touch on is the fear of success. And so this is something that's more sneaky. It's harder to detect and identify with. So obviously all of you guys can immediately think of something you were scared of on your journey. But the fear of success is not something you can always say, yeah, that's me. I'm scared of succeeding, because it kind of sounds counterintuitive. Of course you want to succeed. Why would you be scared of doing that? But there's a lot of things that we have had happen with all of us in our different journeys of our lives that have created mindsets for us that really make it hard for us to succeed. And so some things that, these aren't all of them, but just a couple of examples of fear of success is not believing that you're worthy of being successful. Maybe you have thought patterns and mindsets about money that you shouldn't be successful and have money, because maybe you think that having money is selfish, or being able to take care of your family and yourself and all of those needs is selfish. There's tons of different things that relate to the fear of success, and those are just a couple of things. But one thing that you can do when you start recognizing that you might have some of those fears and mindsets that can hold you back is to think about what success actually is for you, and be specific about those things and define what those things are. So if you're sitting here saying, like, I don't really know if I have the fear of success, but then you can identify maybe some thought patterns and things that would make it hard for you to succeed, or make it hard for you to believe that you're worthy of being successful. Think about what it would look like for you to be successful when you think of, I succeeded in my business, I succeeded on my health journey, whatever it might be for you. What does that look like for you? It starts with getting really, really specific on those things and understanding what that's going to look like for you. Most of us haven't really experienced ever the kind of success that's possible with this business. So it's a little bit intimidating. You can see people on our team, you can see people on other teams, tons of different examples of people really succeeding in this business. And I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen the kind of money that an Emerald can make in my bank account ever in my entire life. I've never seen anything close to that. I've never seen my parents with that kind of money. I've never seen my friends with that kind of money. So it's really intimidating to us to be able to think, like, I can do that and I deserve to be able to be there, because most of us don't even have a connection to how that could be possible for us. And it's hard for us to imagine ourselves there, because it seems like it's really far-fetched. But it's really not far-fetched. That's just a mindset that we have ingrained into us from different things that we have experienced in our lives and things we haven't experienced in our lives. And Kristen Wyatt did send me her check, guys. Whoa. Emerald paychecks are like crazy. But they're something that we're all worthy of having. There's something that we're all capable of putting in the work and earning and deserving that. But you have to ask yourself what it looks like for you when you when you're successful? What is going to happen when you get there? When you meet your goal, what are you going to do? Are you going to celebrate? Are you going to pay off a bunch of debt? Are you going to pay for your kids' college? Are you going to make a new goal? Maybe your first goal is getting to jewel status, and it's when you're going to be emerald. Maybe your first goal is just getting to silver or getting to gold, but what are you going to do when you get there? And that's where it really starts for you to understand, like, this is possible for me, and this is what I'm going to do when I get there. So that's just a little bit about the fear of success, because that's something that you really have to look out for on your journey, because it's easy to fall into that and just not recognize that you have it, because it's so ingrained into you that that's just what you find as normal. So the next part that I wanted to share with you guys, and this is a whole lot, is fear and you. So we talked about the fear of failure. We talked about the fear of success, and there's different kinds of fear, obviously, but those are the ones I wanted to focus on with you guys because I think that they're really prominent in our business and for us personally going through our journeys. But the first thing I want to say about fear and you, and don't think I'm ignoring you guys' comments in the chat, I'm reading them, but fear controls what you allow it to control. So that's something that I think is huge. You are so in control of your mind and what you allow yourself to believe, and you just have to really take control of that. So if you feel like fear controls you in any of the ways we talked about or in any other way, you have the power to make that stop, because you are in control of that. And I made a list of things I wanted to share with you guys, because this is really personal to me, and this helps me a lot in my understanding of what I'm capable of and what I'm worthy of having. So I'm going to read you guys some stuff about what God says about you, what God says about me, and all of us. Okay. So He's not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. That's huge, you guys. You're His messenger to the world. You're created in His likeness. You have favor. You're chosen. You're worthy. And you already have all of the energy inside of you for you to be successful. Everything that you need to get to that next place, whether it's in your business or in your life or whatever it might be for you, it's already inside of you. And if you want to, if you want to make it happen, you just have to realize that and realize that it's already done. So your job isn't necessarily to make it happen. Do you have to put in a lot of hard work? Yes, you definitely do. This journey is not easy, and if you're here, then you probably already know that, because you're someone who shows up and you want to do this. You know it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it's so worth it. So you do have to work hard, but you also have to know that it's done. Like, if you want it, it's done. You just have to work for it, and your job is just to align with that vision and claim the victory for yourself. So whatever your goals are, just say it's done. I'm going to make it happen, and no matter what has happened in my past, no matter what my thought patterns have been in the past, what my beliefs are, it's done. And just take the victory that's already won for you. There's huge power and expectation. You're going to have exactly what you expect. So you can decide what your outcome is going to be in all of this. You can decide that you're going to be silver. You can decide you're going to be gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, all the way up to diamond. You can decide that that's what's going to happen for you, and you have to put in the work to make it happen. But once you decide, there's nothing that can stop you besides you. So you just have to align with knowing that, and just knowing that that's who you are. All the things that I read to you guys, that's in every single one of us. You have favor, you're chosen, you're worthy. You just have to train your mind to understand that and say, I'm doing it. So what that takes for you to do that is also some work on yourself. So it takes truly believing those things about you. It takes replacing the doubt in your mind. So you can kind of believe them. You can halfway believe these things, and it's not enough. You have to truly believe those things about yourself and about your circumstances and all of that jazz that we're always talking about. You have to really internalize that and make it a part of who you are. And you have to replace doubt in your mind. So I 100% recommend reading the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. You've probably heard that if you've been on the team for a little while from a bunch of our leaders, because we did a book study on it and it was amazing and it changed so much for me, and it still does. That book is not just a book that you read and then you put down and you forget about. It can be. Any book that you read can be that way, but that book, you guys, if you've never read that, or you haven't read it fully, or you haven't read it and implemented what it taught you, you really need to go and do that, because it can change everything for you. So read it, really apply the principles. That's something that I utilize every day in my everyday life, things that I've learned from that book. I do the things every day. I do the affirmations, I listen to the affirmations, I speak the affirmations. The truth about that kind of stuff, guys, and improving yourself is that you not only have to read it and put in the time to learn, but you also have to apply it to your life, or it doesn't do anything for you. So make sure that if you read that book, which you definitely should, like, don't even make it a question for yourself, read the book and apply the principles. But utilizing affirmations, it's really important for you to be specific to you and your mindset. And that's something that I kind of didn't understand in the beginning of my journey, because I used to have just a little notebook where I would write down a couple of affirmations that I would read every single day, and they were awesome and they were positive, and they made me feel really good when I read them, and I really started to believe those things about myself, because that's the power of affirmations. But I would tell you guys, after reading that book, this is just what I do. I don't think that it's enough for you to write down one affirmation to negate the mindset that has been a part of you for your entire life. I write 10 to 20 affirmations that relate to one thing that's been in my mindset. And I say those things every day, and I speak belief over myself, and I record myself saying them, and I listen to it every day whenever I have free time. And I really get it ingrained into who I am. Like, every fiber of my being, I want to believe that stuff about myself. If you guys haven't used the app called Think Up, definitely look into getting that app. We've talked a lot about that too on previous calls. But that app is amazing. You can record your affirmations and then listen to them. So if you're really busy, that's something, it takes the excuse away for me that I'm too busy in the morning to do my affirmations, because if I have to drive somewhere, I can listen to it in the car. Like when I used to walk to class and stuff, I wish I had that app, because instead of saying, oh, I woke up late today and I have to get to class, like, I can just listen to it in my headphones while I'm walking. So it takes the excuse away from you. I definitely say your affirmations out loud, because there's power in what you're saying and what you're speaking. But also listening to them is awesome, especially if you're really busy. And that's all stuff that's talked about in the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. So amazing. Love that book. Practice saying your affirmations every day. Don't miss a day. That's like the most important thing that you could do for yourself. If you feel like, oh my gosh, I have so much to get done with work or school or even like your business, just do your affirmations first. Even if it's taking like 2 minutes to like sit there and say your affirmations out loud, that's the greatest thing that you could do for yourself every single day. let's see what other notes I have for you guys. I wrote a bunch of stuff on this because I knew I wanted to touch on it because, guys, this is the real deal. This is real stuff. So don't think that affirmations are some like just like mumbo jumbo, like, okay, like speak them into existence, like blah blah blah. Like, no. For real, you guys, it's a really big deal. Another thing I wanted to touch on real quick is praying over your goals and just being grateful for the favor that you already have and making them happen. One thing that was huge for me to realize in my journey and praying over my team and my goals and all of that kind of stuff is realizing that there's a difference between prayer and asking and praising through and being thankful, because there's been times where I ask and ask and ask for the same thing, and God works in his own divine way, so it's not always, our prayers aren't going to be answered in the exact way that we think they're going to be answered. Usually it's in like a completely different way. But there's a difference of like asking, because when you ask for something in prayer, that's really, really powerful. And you already know, I told you guys this, and you can look into this yourself too. You have the favor and you are chosen, and God wants all of those things for you. So when you ask for something in prayer, that's a part of God's will for your life. It's already done. So after you pray for it and after you ask for it, that's the first thing, asking. And then the next thing is being grateful and saying it's already done and being open to receiving that. So that's something I really had to learn to be able to do. And that's where gratitude starts too, being grateful that you have so many amazing things already in your life, and you have all of the power to do the things that you want to do. So being grateful for that is huge. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on with that is praying over your team specifically. And this is something that I learned in a ton of different trainings. I'll be honest with you guys, I really don't remember which one it was, because I'm watching training videos and stuff like left and right nowadays. But I was learning about praying over your team, even praying over your potentials and your customers and all that good stuff. And you can speak belief for them before they start doing it for themselves. So if you have team members who are really trying to work on their mindset as you're working on yours, because you have to lead by example and all of that stuff, and share with your team that that's what you're doing. You can speak belief over them. Like, say your team member or your customer comes to you and they're like, I just don't feel like anyone wants to do this with me. You can say, so many people want to do this with you. I'm so excited for you that all your friends and family are doing this with you. You can speak belief for them when you talk to them, and make sure that they know that that's something that they should be doing too. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys about fear and what kinds of different fear that might come into play with our businesses specifically, and how you can combat all of that fear. And I'm just going to quickly touch back on my story that I shared with you guys at the very beginning. And thank you guys so much for your kind words and stuff in the chat. I love you guys so much. But I let fear stop me for a really, really long time in my journey. And what I'm doing right now, like as we speak, every single day, is I'm deciding every day that I'm not going to let that happen to me anymore. I'm choosing to not let fear have the victory for me. I'm choosing to let myself have the victory that's already won for me, And that's the same for every single one of you guys. You can decide that that's not going to be a part of your life anymore. You can decide that you're going to work on your mindset, and you're going to do the affirmations every day, and you're going to really pour into yourself. And it's just a matter of you doing it and showing up for yourself every day. So I decided to stop letting that happen. I took control, and all of these things we talked about, I practice them daily. And that is showing up for yourself. That is not giving up on yourself. That's deciding every single day when I wake up, sometimes I wake up and I don't go exactly to my morning routine like I wish that I did. Like life is not perfect. Sometimes I grab my phone and someone texts me, and then I get into all this crazy mumbo jumbo, and then my morning is thrown off and I feel like I don't have time to do my affirmations. But I choose that I'm not going to let my past and what's happened in all of these years of me being alive stop me from being who I know I can be for myself, for my team, for the people around me that I know that I'm blessing by doing what I do. I decide every day. So when the crazy stuff happens, you get to decide, I'm not going to let that define me today. I'm going to choose to do my affirmations. I'm going to choose to have victory today. And so learning that I deserve the success that I'm having right now and I will have in the future has been huge. Learning this is something that I'm like really getting into right now, and it's like a tug of war every single day, you guys. Like your mind is going to tell you things that aren't true. You just have to replace those thoughts. So something for me I'm working on, and that's huge for me right now, is learning that I am worthy of being successful just as I am right now. Like I can show up to this Zoom call with no makeup and my hair not done, and I'm not dressed up, and my day didn't go perfectly, and I don't have everything all planned out, but I still deserve to be successful. I still deserve to move forward in my business and in helping people, because I deserve it just as I am right now. And that's huge. I learned, and I'm learning, that people's opinions of me don't matter really at all. Of course, there's people around me that I love and I care about their opinions for certain things, but not about for what I do, not about for what I'm passionate about and what I'm going to do. And I don't let other people's mindsets and the things that they believe jump onto me, because I know what I deserve and I know what I'm going to move forward with. Other people's expectations don't really matter to me. My expectations of me matter the most. They matter so much, and your expectations of yourself matter so, so much. So you have to choose. If you don't choose, it's going to get chosen for you. If you don't choose what you're going to do today, tomorrow, someone else is going to choose it for you. If you don't choose the mindset that you want to have every single day, it'll go back to default, what you grew up believing. You have to choose it every single day. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. That's where I'm at in my journey right now. And I'm finally at the place where I love myself. I know that I deserve success where I'm at, but it's an everyday thing. I choose to believe that every single day. It's not just you say 10,000 affirmations and then you finally believe in yourself for the rest of your life. Of course, that helps. Say 10,000 affirmations for sure, but you have to say them every day, and you have to choose every day to do that. So that's what I want to share with you guys. I'm actually really surprised that I talked for so long. I thought that was going to be like shorter, because I went off on not just my notes and just shared from my heart with you guys. But I really appreciate all of you guys's comments in the chat and stuff, your encouragement, and I hope you guys took some stuff from it. So I know we're already past 9 o'clock, but if you guys have any questions you want me to answer, you can put them in the chat, or you can ask them out loud or whatever. But I'm really glad that I got to share with you guys tonight.
Yes. If you guys have any questions for Allie really quick, like we got 5 more minutes maybe, you can leave them in the comments. But I just want to say thank you so much, Allie, for sharing. The comments were blowing up. I know that you can see everyone was absolutely loving it. And I know that this was right on time for what a lot of people needed to hear. It always is. It's so awesome how that the universe synchronicity, it always works that way. So thank you, Allie, because I have really seen Allie grow in leadership over these past couple of years, like she was saying, I'm someone that had a very slow start in the beginning, and then I had my leadership and personal growth later on, where it was flipped and it was the opposite. And so now I'm really excited because she's been putting in that leadership growth at Gold for so long now that we're going to see her shoot through the ranks. It's going to be really exciting to really look back on this call and remember what started it all, right? So I'm really excited for you guys to hear from her because she just has an incredible journey. And y'all, so many people would have given up by now, right? And that's what's so awesome is that she has persevered, and that's why she's going to see it through. So just want to encourage you guys, because not everybody gets to diamond in 4 months like Celeste Gwynn. This journey really it really is all about hard work, but it's so worth it. And like Allie was saying, this is more money than I know us personally we would ever be making anywhere else, and doing a lot more work, really truly. So I'm just really excited to see what's in store for you and for your team, Allie, and for just Diamonds in the Making as a whole. So I know the chat's blowing up. I'm not sure if we had any questions or anything. I think everyone's just loving it. But I just wanted to say before we hop off that this topic really had me thinking. I don't know if any of you guys were here when we did the funeral for our fears. I think it was in the spring or something like that. We all wore black. We wrote out our fears. We told them to each other. We burned them and released them and let them go after. I'm thinking we should probably do that again. So I think this call, especially when everyone was saying their fears and stuff, I thought that was super awesome. So I'm thinking we need to do another releasing, right? Like end of summer, going into the new year. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Stay tuned because that will be something. Allie, all the fears that she had that she was bringing up for us, I thought this was an awesome way for us to be able to get them out in the open and release them. So thank you, Allie, because the fear of success, seriously, is huge. That was a big, big thing for me, and I know that's a big thing for most jewels. Getting to the jewel level is getting over that fear of success, and it was something I did not realize until I was right there. So y'all got to hear so much from Allie and learn so much that's going to be able to help you on your journey to be able to go so much faster and learn so much more than now we've had to learn along the way. So thank you, Allie, for pouring into us, and thank you guys for hopping on live. We so appreciate it. And she's going to have the recording posted in Diamonds in the Making, so you can tag any of your team members who didn't get to tune in on there. So we'll see you guys next week for Tribe Tuesday if you don't have any questions. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you again, Allie. We so appreciate it, girl.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I loved being able to share with you guys. If you guys have any questions after we get off, just let me know. Send me a message or whatever. But I love you guys. Thanks so much for having me on tonight. Bye.
Bye. Love y'all.